Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Look, we need to talk about what's happening with the Mets pitching situation right now because there's actual movement happening and it's not just speculation anymore. The front office has shown their hand and we finally know where this is headed. So here's the reality. The Mets rotation is paper thin right now and everyone knows it. You've got question marks everywhere you look. Can Kodai Senga stay healthy for a full season? Will we see the good version of David Peterson consistently? What about Paul Blackburn coming back from injury? And sure, there's excitement around guys like Christian Scott and Blade Tidwell, but banking on young arms is always risky. The organization needs proven major league pitching, and they need it now if they're serious about competing in 2026. The free agent market still has some serious arms available, even though we're deep into the offseason. Names like Framber Valdez and Ranger Suarez are sitting out there waiting for the right deal. Both guys have years of big league experience, both have pitched in pressure situations, and both would immediately upgrade what the Mets are working with. But here's where it gets interesting because according to recent reports from Buster Olney, the Mets are zeroing in on one of these two specifically. Olney basically said it seems inevitable at this point that the Mets land either Valdez or Suarez. He pointed out that Suarez makes a ton of sense given his composure on the mound and the fact that he's been pitching in a massive market with Philadelphia for years. That experience matters when you're talking about New York. The pressure is real, the media scrutiny is constant, and not every pitcher can handle that environment. Suarez has already proven he can. Jesse Rogers added more context to this whole situation by explaining how weird this offseason has been for starting pitchers. Relievers flew off the board early while starters have been moving at a snail's pace, but that's about to change. Names like Jack Flaherty, Zach Eflin, and Luis Severino are getting more traction now, and teams like the Mets, Cubs, Braves, and maybe even the Yankees and Angels are all looking to add rotation pieces. But Rogers specifically mentioned that Suarez and Valdez should be the first to sign. That tells you where the market values these guys. Now let's break down what each pitcher brings to the table because they're very different players. Framber Valdez has been a workhorse for the Astros for years. The guy eats innings like nobody's business. In 2024, he threw 192 innings with a 3.66 ERA. He's not a huge strikeout guy with 187 punchouts over those innings, but he keeps the ball on the ground and limits damage. His sinker is elite, and hitters consistently beat the ball into the dirt against him. That's valuable, especially in a ballpark like Citi Field where fly balls can leave the yard in a hurry. But here's the thing about Valdez that concerns me. His playoff track record is inconsistent at best. Sometimes he looks like an ace in October, other times he gets shelled. For a team like the Mets that's trying to build something special and make deep postseason runs, you need guys who elevate their game when the lights are brightest. Valdez hasn't consistently done that. Plus, when you actually dig into his advanced metrics, they're solid, but not spectacular. His Baseball Savant page shows decent numbers across the board, but nothing that jumps off the screen except his fastball run value and ground ball rate. Now let's talk about Ranger Suarez because this is where things get really interesting. Suarez put up a 4.7 WAR in 2024 with a 3.20 ERA over 26 starts. Those are legitimate number 2 starter numbers, maybe even number 1, depending on the rest of your rotation. He's not going to blow you away with velocity, and he's never going to lead the league in strikeouts, but the man knows how to pitch. His breaking ball is nasty, his command is excellent, and hitters just cannot square him up. When you look at his Baseball Savant profile, it's actually pretty impressive. His pitching run value is excellent, his breaking ball run value is outstanding, and his off-speed stuff grades out really well too. The only real knock is his fastball metrics, but even those are still above average. His fastball velocity isn't great, and his whiff percentage is on the lower side, but he doesn't rely on overpowering hitters. He relies on location, sequencing, and keeping hitters off balance. That's pitching, not just throwing. Not. The other thing that stands out about Suarez is his ability to limit hard contact. His exit velocity numbers are fantastic, and his barrel rate is low. Hitters get a lot of weak pop-ups and harmless fly balls against him. For a team like the Mets that wants to focus on run prevention and elite defense, having a guy like Suarez who induces weak contact fits perfectly into that philosophy. You add him to a rotation, and suddenly your defense matters even more because he's putting the ball in play but not letting hitters hit it hard. There's some concern about Suarez's health since he's had some minor issues, but nothing that should be a major red flag. He's also younger than Valdez, which matters when you're talking about a multi-year contract. You want a guy who's going to give you good years throughout the life of the deal, not someone who might decline sharply in year 3 or 4. According to Jim Bowden, the Orioles are heavily pursuing Suarez right now. They've been in negotiations but haven't closed the deal yet. The Mets are also in the mix, and frankly, they should be able to outbid Baltimore pretty easily. The Orioles have already spent a significant amount of money this offseason, and while they have new ownership willing to spend, they're not Steve Cohen. The Mets have essentially unlimited resources, and if David Stearns identifies Suarez as the guy, they can make it happen. Here's why I think Suarez makes more sense than Valdez beyond just the numbers. First, you're taking a really good pitcher away from a division rival. The Phillies losing Suarez hurts them and helps you at the same time. That's a win-win. Second, Suarez has already proven he can handle the bright lights of a big market. Philadelphia isn't New York, but it's close enough that the transition should be smooth. Third, his skill set matches what the Mets are trying to build better than Valdez's does. Weak contact, limiting barrels, keeping the ball in the yard, that all plays into the defensive strengths the Mets want to emphasize. Both Mike Elias in Baltimore and David Stearns in New York have personal history with Valdez from their time in Houston's front office. They were both there when the Astros signed him as an international free agent back in 2015. That connection matters in free agency negotiations. Players often feel more comfortable signing with executives who have known them for years and helped develop their careers. But just because there's a relationship doesn't mean Valdez is the right fit for what the Mets need right now. The bottom line is this: the Mets need starting pitching desperately, and they're going to get it one way or another. Whether it's through free agency with guys like Suarez and Valdez, or through trades for someone like Framber Peralta or Edward Cabrera, something is going to happen soon. But based on everything we know about what's available, what the Mets need, and what the market looks like right now, Ranger Suarez is the guy who makes the most sense. He's the better pitcher statistically. He fits the team's philosophy better, and he's proven he can handle a big market. If Stearns can get the deal done, this is the move that should happen. The Mets get better, the Phillies get worse, and suddenly that rotation starts looking a whole lot more respectable heading into spring training.